セガサターンシロ
What is up? Welcome to the SHIRO Show Friday. Yay, TGIF. How's it going, Pat? At Phoenix and Fusion. Nice. Yeah, you did a show. I was able to catch it on the VOD, and that was cool. You shaky camera. I was like, you know what? We need to spend a little bit of money on a gimbal or something like that, you know? No, I know. But you can get one of those little phone gimbals. I don't know. I think it would be cool. You go to a lot of conventions, so it might be worth it, you know, to get like one of those little phone gimbal. Yeah. Then you can walk around and you can jump around and the phone doesn't like look like you're having a seizure. Yeah. It was awesome. Well, it was nice. I've never seen Phoenix Fan Fusion, so that is what used to be Comic-Con, right? This is what they're calling it now, Phoenix Fan Fusion. And it's getting bigger every year, right? In Phoenix. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Right. That's not the big. You're not muted. Desktop. Oh. Okay, so there's something about desktop audio that's not coming through. Hold on a second. Let me just see. Okay. Hang with us. Hang with us. Hang with us. Desktop audio. It's... Hold on a second. Hold on. There you go.
I cried when I wrote the song. Stop me if I play too long.
All right, so yes, say something, Pat. There you go. Okay.
This is the time of the expanding nest.
Of the expanding man.
Expanding man. Oops.
The expanding man. Yeah. Okay, so I had Pat muted for the entire intro. Yay! And it was all because my monitoring device. I didn't go into the Discord settings and change the monitoring device to whatever. Anyway, screw
let's
Discord,
again,
screw
baby.
OBS.
How
is it going, everybody? Yes,
right down the middle.
So Pat,
welcome to the SHIRO Show.
Welcome to the SHIRO Show.
The SHIRO Show. There's no technical issues this episode whatsoever.
Right. Pat,
if you're on the podcast audio, you will never know that for sure. So
there you go.
Suck it.
So suck it. I apologize, everyone.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome to the show. It's par for the course. It's par for the course at this point. Pat spent last weekend at Phoenix Fan Fusion, and he was saying it was kind of dead on the floor because it was a Friday, but of course it picks up on Saturday and Sunday.
It picks up on Saturdays, yeah. Like later when it's like, oh man, looks dead. It's like, well, it's Friday, like at 2 o'clock. Everyone's still at work.
Mm-hmm.
I just started work late. Like I started work early, and I just worked like the time, and I got there. It was like, oh no, it was at 4 o'clock. That's right. So people were probably just getting out of work. I started work early. It took me forever to find parking there. It was like they're relaxing $80 right near the area for parking. It's like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
No.
That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I just went down the street and I paid $30, and I was like, okay, I'll deal with that.
Yeah. But, oh my God, it's even Padres games. Like I used to park in the convention center where Comic-Con is, you know, during Padres games, you can park there. It used to be $10 just a couple years ago. Then it was 15, then it was 20. I think it's like $25 or $30 now to park for a Padres game. And I was just like, forget that. I just take the trolley in, because the trolley is $5 round trip, you know? So
yeah, I would do that. I used to take the light rail, but it started getting pretty pricey for the light rail to the point where it's like, oh well, I might as well. You know what I should do though is I should park where I worked at before and just Uber over from there.
Yeah.
Just Uber back to where I work at. I should
Uber
do that.
is expensive though, isn't it? I mean, like, it was expensive.
It's right down the street. It can't be more than like $5.
Oh, okay. Wow. Or you could just walk then if it's down the street, get some exercise.
It's still a couple miles down the road. I don't want to do that.
I mean, I was in Yosemite, last week, and I walked multiple miles. I don't even know how many miles I walked. It was ridiculous. My steps were in the hundreds of thousands, so.
Jeez.
But yeah, it was good though. It was good for me because I've been gaining weight, and I needed that kind of exercise. There was one day that I walked like a couple miles just to get a cell signal so I could message you, and I had to like go to the Yosemite Village. It was a really nice little shaded path with a bunch of like these sequoias, or like the California redwoods, It was really nice. But I was thinking, I need to do this more often. I need to like work out more often.
Yeah, like I said, it would be nice if I was had that California weather, but when it's 100 degrees in Phoenix, in the city,
true. That's true.
It's like I'm gonna be in, like I have to walk the entire day at the convention. It's like
okay, good point. But I mean,
but yeah, I want to do Yosemite. That sounds really nice.
When do you get good weather though in Arizona? Like, when would you say is like the best time of year for weather?
Usually it's towards the end of October we get a little bit colder. And
that's what I need. I guess I need to visit you in October
April
then.
Or May. Yeah.
Hey, there's an idea.
October to May.
Yeah, there's an idea. Like, we go to PRGE in October, and then like I could come back and crash at your place or something. I love Arizona, by the way. If I haven't mentioned it before, like, I love Arizona. I've got a thing for Arizona. Is just, I don't know, the landscape, everything about it, because you do have kind of like the Southwest kind of thing, but then in the north you've got like the Sierra Nevada kind of thing, and it's a beautiful state. Sedona is like the most beautiful place I've ever seen in the entire world. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's really nice. Like, you're saying like just like go to PRGE, then take a plane and go back to Arizona with me, or
yeah, maybe like do that, like fly back to Arizona or something like that.
Gotcha.
I could get it. Is there such a thing where you can do rental cars and then like just drop them off where you go, like U-Haul almost, or do you have to drop them?
Like take a whole like drive it all the way to another state?
Yeah. I don't know if that's a thing. Probably not.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, it's like U-Haul. I'm pretty sure you can take it like buy an Orbitz in California and take it to another Orbitz, and then you'd be able to take it back.
Yeah. Or it just stays in their inventory in the new place, and then they rent it out or something. I don't know.
David Zane's been. I've been to Arizona. Was it Tucson? There's a giant A on a mound. No, you're thinking. I think that's Tempe. They have a giant A for the Arizona State University. It's like a yellow thing on the mountain. It's a whole thing. Like, they paint it, and like they have like wars, like because during football games, like the U of A likes to come up and paint it red. And like, it's dumb, but yeah. Sorry to interrupt you. I just saw that and I thought it was interesting.
No, it's fine. We have 21 people in the live chat, but it looks like only a handful of people commenting. So we have of course, Knight of Dragon, and he's here in the voice chat. Dragons of Saturn, Pudgy Bunny, Shouts, Paul Bort. Hey, how's it going? Dave Zaney. Anybody else who wants to comment, drop a comment there. Like the stream right now while you're thinking, like the stream, share it out. That would be a big help to us. I know we say it every time, but
call us out on Twitter.
It bears repeating, I guess. Did you pick anything up? Any show and tell? Any stuff you want to from the convention?
The only thing I'd picked up was more dollies. So I picked up the Possessed from Warhammer.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And most of the other stuff I got was just like stuff for other people. So like I got just some stickers and stuff for like my family members that couldn't go because of work.
Okay.
So yeah, I was kind of bad, kind of bummed. I couldn't find anything. The one thing I've always wanted for every year I went since 10 years is I want to find a #1 of Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. I can never find that. I can never find a #1 of that. How many Felicias did you get? I don't know what that means. How many Felicias?
Oh, like Capcom fleet? Are you talking about?
Yeah, from Night Stalkers.
From Night Stalkers. Okay.
Oh,
how many
Felicia.
Felicias did you get?
The statues, yeah. The only one I found was that $150 one, but I didn't want to buy that because I wanted to have money.
Sure.
So no, I didn't. I sadly wasn't able to get the Felicia statue, but like, I would like to. They had some cool like Hunter x Hunter ones, like Hisoka and like Gon. But like
So
they're like $45, and it's like I don't know. No,
I'm
we-
laughing.
we're-
Pat has no problem spending like $400 on a Steely Dan vinyl or something, but
It's
150
for
is
the Steely Dan vinyl.
Oh, well, whatever. You've for a jazz record or something. You've easily dropped $400 on a vinyl before, and then when it comes to like something like a figure or something like that, you have your limits. You know.
It's all for like usefulness, because like the thing
Yeah.
with the statues that are just gonna sit on a shelf and
Sure.
look pretty.
I'm just
and
giving you a hard
that's what
time.
it's for.
I'm just giving
yeah.
you. Did you have any? Do you
I
have
know.
any Sega
it is
Hard
interesting
Girls?
that you pointed out though.
Do you have any
It's
Sega
interesting,
Hard
though.
Girl?
I do. My friend got me a Saturn one. It's right here on the
Oh,
shelf.
okay, so you got the Saturn one. You have the Dreamcast one?
No, I didn't get it. He never got me another one for Christmas. So
Because I was just
But, yeah,
wondering
I
if
got-
they had those at the convention. If they had those at Fan Fusion.
where's it?
Do you
There
ever
we go.
see that kind
yeah,
of stuff?
I took pictures of her.
Nice.
She's on my Insta. So she's sitting here on the shelf over here next to my Power Stone standee.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
She's there. She's vibing on the shelf. I do want to get a Dreamcast one eventually, but
Yeah, that would be rad.
I need to get one. I didn't get
Saturn's
the
the
Mega
best
Drive
anyway,
one because
though.
I have good taste.
Be quiet. Shut up.
The Saturn.
You
the
have
Saturn is
good
the-
taste.
I don't-
Actually,
I don't like the
Pat-
garbage Mega
Pat,
Drive.
yeah, he doesn't like the Mega Drive because Pat sent me this right here.
Yeah.
So he was just like, "This is garbage. I'm getting rid
I
of
was
it."
telling Dave, I was like, I'm just about to throw this in the garbage, so unless you want it, I'm just gonna talk. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, so I filled this up with 32X, Sega CD, complete Genesis collection, and I've been having a blast with that, so thanks. And I can also use this also use this with the X-Band modem, so that's great. Now I have access to all those games. Although
Nice.
I was informed by, now who was it? Was it Agnostic? Or who's in the chat with us, and it might have been him or it might have been Double Dime, who told me that I can't actually use the. So one of the games won't work with this, and I forget which one it was, but yeah, one of the games will not work with this for whatever reason, with the X-Band. But anyway, maybe there are others that won't work with it either. But anyway, got that. So that was cool. I got something else I want to show you, and it's heavy.
Oh, sweet. You're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
send that to me, right? That's
Yes.
getting sent to my house.
Uh,
All right, just PO box it to me.
I
let's
don't
do
know.
this.
I don't know.
Send every copy. I'm just joking. I'm
Yeah,
only kidding.
so
Don't do that.
these are like in pristine condition, and a friend of mine actually found these at a library.
Dang.
They were donated to a library, and he gave them to me for a pittance. I won't say because I don't want to make people jealous or anything. But
Did you do it for $5 in a sandwich?
$5 a sandwich.
That sounds about right.
It was next to nothing. But anyway, so yeah, and so now I have the beginnings of
Say the price. Say the price. Say the price.
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
care.
no.
It's cool.
No. I have the beginnings of a Dreamcast magazine collection, issues 1 through 10. So that's nice. I don't have the demo discs, but I will probably try to pick those up.
Track them
The
down.
generator discs, yeah. Track those
I do
down.
have a really nice. I actually do have a really nice copy of Dreamcast #1 with the demo disc.
So
I want to get. That's
you
one of my
got this
goals,
one
'cause-
right here? You got this one?
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay, so interesting fact is that well, I'll wait until Pat comes back.
You keep talking.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So the interesting fact is there's actually an issue 0 that came out in June. So this came out this came out September 1999, right? There's a June issue 99 that was issue 0, and it has Sonic on the cover, and that magazine goes for like $200 on eBay. Sometimes even more than that. It's ridiculous. That's single issue because I guess it's like super rare. Another thing I noticed.
Have mine right here.
Nice. Oh, good. You've got it bagged and boarded too. I
Yeah,
haven't
and it
got
has
these.
The,
What kind of bag and board do you need for these? Because these seem kind of big.
they just gave me this giant one. I think it's for like oversized like comics. But yeah, I have that. In there. This actually is my favorite demo disc of all time. I've played this so many times, like in a different form. I've torn this disc apart. I played this so many times. The first generator disc.
Yeah.
So good.
There is something
So
in
good.
here.
So good.
There's an article in here that I wanted to share if I can find it, and it's about the Dreamcast.
My only issue is that mine's a little bit wavy on the top. I don't know if you could see it. There's like a wave to it.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to get a better issue eventually, but like I do want to get issues 1 through 100.
Oh, this one looks like it is kind of getting a little wavy.
Yeah, I keep my Dreamcast magazines next to my favorite magazines. Just gotta stay humble, guys. You just gotta stay humble.
That's like completely keyed out. That's funny. Okay, so
you guys know what it is. You guys know what magazine I pulled out.
Where's this page? So,
staying humble, guys. Staying humble.
If folks are familiar with the original Dreamcast, prototypes, there's a couple of them that look kind of. There's like one that looks all HR Giger, and then there's another one that's black, and it kind of has the same. Is like a mix of the Saturn styling, and then like what the Dreamcast eventually became. And in this issue, this first issue of Dreamcast magazine, it refers to it. Oh, here we go. Dreamcast 101. It's an article in the back. It refers to it as the Vortex. I'll show you here. So check it out. Right there. It said, there's the first one. It kind of looks like some kind of alien probe. And then there's, of course, like the final probe that's in your anus. The final prototype looks closest to what we would get with the Dreamcast, but the middle one is kind of like reminiscent of a Saturn. And it actually has a logo on top, and it says Sega Vortex. And that's before they named it the Dreamcast. They were going to call it the Sega Vortex. What's really funny about that is I go online and I'm looking for pictures or references to the Sega Vortex, and I can't find anything. And every picture of this unit does not have any writing on it at all. It's just flat black on top, like painted black. And this says, in it, attempt number 2 mimicked the design sensibilities of the Sega Saturn with the obvious addition of 2 more gamepad ports. This design also displays one of the earliest prototype names for the system, Vortex. Just one of the several working monikers given to the Dreamcast. Anyway, that's the only time that I've ever heard. I've heard, Black Belt, Katana, you name it.
So how many magazines are in total? With what are the number of copies we need to get for that?
For Dreamcast magazine?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Is it like
20 or something?
Is it like 12? Is it 20?
Well, yeah, I only got 10, and that goes.
Do you have do you have the DOA one with what's her name on there that says Alive and Kickin'?
Yes.
For DOA 2?
Yes. And I got, so this is number.
I like that one.
There's number 10, and that's Holiday 2000. Issue 10, Holiday 2000.
Good year.
Well, we know that the Dreamcast went well into, 2001, 2000?
Yeah. Go through and show what covers they have.
Okay.
I want to see the covers that you have. I want to buy them all.
Face Off.
All right, got that one. Face Off, favorite movie with Tom Cruise. Dreamcast, Ooh La La, great game. My favorite Michael Jackson related media. All right, Power Stone. Wow, I actually like that cover a lot. The art on there is beautiful.
I know, isn't that great?
I want that one. I'm fucking peanut butter. Ooh, peanut butter and jelly. I didn't curse, guys.
This is a very U.S. flavored mag, though. The Brits, they actually did have their own Dreamcast magazine, and it does.
I like how the eyes key out.
Yeah, the eyes key out. It does deviate a bit, Hey, look, I can get it to kind of shine and key.
It looks like a holograph. Is it a holographic color?
It is not. It's just keying.
It's just the keying that does
strangely.
that.
The wonderful thing about these issues is they do actually have the original registration, hey, sign up a friend or whatever, and a business reply mail sheet in them. I don't know if you guys can hear the trash guy in the background, but
I heard him a little bit.
Tony Hawk 2.
Tony Hawk 2. Dude,
actually, I might not have pulled every issue out of the thing right before I ran into the garage. There's Shenmue 2.
Half-Life.
Or sorry, not Shenmue 2.
Shenmue.
Half-Life, yeah.
Shenmue.
Ill Bleed over here. You know what? Where is that Alive and Kickin' one? I don't see it. Okay, here, this one right here has like a shiny.
I like that one.
This one has like a shiny silver cover.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh wow, are
I
there
need
stickers?
to buy more
Oh my God.
Dreamcast mags.
Check it out. Check it out. Look at this. There's a little tiny sheet.
Special offer.
Look at that. There's a little tiny sheet of stickers.
Oh, that's cool. Little stickers.
Little
You should
stickers.
pull it off and put it on your microphone.
Hell
Actually,
no.
don't do that.
Hell
That's
no.
dumb.
I'm not gonna touch it.
Stick it right
anyway.
on the microphone.
Anyway, that's fun. That's fun. I wasn't even gonna try to
creepy. I'm
collect
sorry about that,
Dreamcast
audience.
magazines just because it's just one more thing. And he asked me, my friend was like, how do you feel about Nintendo Power? Are you interested? Do you want me to keep an eye out for you? And I was like, sure, but that's a huge undertaking. Yeah, it's like one thing to collect, Sega Saturn magazine. There's like a very finite amount, but Nintendo Power, I mean, come on, like not only is it super expensive, but there's just so many, Oh man, yeah. So I don't know. I was like, if you can find like a whole year, like 12 issues from a certain year, like 95 or something, I'd be interested. But
I have a ton of issues that goes from like 98 to like 2005 or something.
Of Nintendo Power?
Yeah, I have a
that's
huge
rad.
backlog of that. I have a whole collection of that, and I still collect a little bit of it. I was an OG subscriber back in the day. I always get that.
Same. I was
My mom hooked me up.
I was a subscriber back around like the Star Fox days, Legend of Gaia,
Stairfax.
the Street Fighter 2 Turbo, yeah, all those covers, but then kind of dropped off of it after like Donkey Kong. Well, when I did you get that tape? Oh wait, no, sorry, different time. But there was a
They never sent me any tape.
there was like a Treehouse VHS for Donkey Kong. It was like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Very campy, very silly. But that was like one of the last ones that I got before I canceled my subscription.
I thought you had a tape from Nintendo Power. I think it was like a Mario one, but I think it might have been the wrong one. It said Super Hornio Brothers on there. I don't know if that was the right one they sent me or not, so I don't need to double check that. Maybe they sent me the wrong one. But yeah, no, I actually never got any videotapes from Nintendo Power, sadly. The only thing I got, the one thing I did get that I still have to this day is the for Super Smash Bros. Melee, they had a Smash. It's like Smashing Live. It's like a orchestral interpretations of the I think it was a live recording of the Melee soundtrack, and they have really great tunes on there. You probably find it online relatively easily, but it's a great soundtrack. It's I used to like go on planes and bring my CD player and just play it on repeat over and over again. They have some really good covers on there, and some really not good covers, but most of them are really good. The only one I didn't like was they did an older Nintendo medley, and a lot of them were pretty bad. I was surprised Mock Rider sounded really good, orchestrated though.
Yeah.
Even though it kind of wasn't that great, but a great game. But yeah, what was the point I was making? Yeah, I guess the issues is that I'd love to get the rest of the Dreamcast magazine. I had a bunch of them back in the day, but I lost them. But I really want Dreamcast magazines.
If you have a lead on those oversized bags and boards, if you could send me a link, I would appreciate it, because I need those for the Saturn magazine, the UK Saturn magazine as well as the Sega magazine. They're all oversized. They're all like A3 because of the British size. And then these Dreamcast magazines are definitely bigger than the standard like next generation, which is just essentially 8.5 by 11. So I'm gonna need something
honestly,
like that.
I would just try looking on Amazon for like the oversized
oversized. Yeah, I just didn't know what to look for. Yeah, okay. Just oversized.
That.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
Because the store sold it that way, so that's why.
I'll use SHIRO funds for. No, I'm just kidding. I won't use SHIRO funds.
Oh no, I'm using the SHIRO funds to buy Saturn magazine or Dreamcast magazines.
Right.
Also,
sure,
I'm looking on I'm looking on Internet Archive. It looks like there's 13 issues that they have listed on there. The thing is, there's only 13 issues. Yeah, all 13 issues of the official Striker Dreamcast magazine from the United States.
Okay, so I only need to pick up like 3 more. I'll get on that.
That's not bad.
Get on it while there's still. Oh yeah, issue 0. There's no chance unless I find somebody who doesn't know what they have, because that thing is ridiculous.
How much is issue 0 looking for on eBay?
$200. That's what I was saying. It's like $200.
God damn, dude.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
$66 for the first issue. What the fuck?
Yeah, for the first issue, for the one that you just showed. That one, even that one.
I paid $20 for mine.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
And I thought that was a ripoff.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, the way that gaming magazines are going today, if you can get them for $10 an issue, that's a steal. If you can get, or that's a good deal. Take it. If you can get them for like $20 an issue, shipped, that I would take that too. If it depending on how valuable the issue
Just
is. But
slice off my arm.
these
Please.
days, it's just the only thing that. So like Game Informer, I can't imagine those being very expensive because they've just been going ever since the old days. And the quality is so cheap now. Like Game Informer, they print on the thinnest, crappiest paper, and all the articles are just like phoned in. I'm sorry, but I like have no respect for game. And back in the 90s,
Game Informer's absolute fucking trash.
But in the 90s, that's not.
Oh, oops! There's my second.
Okay, well, in the 90s, like mid 90s, Game Informer was legit. I think it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't going to make any of my like top 5 lists or anything like that. But it was okay. And then it just kind of really went off the deep end. But they're the only ones making print, like modern print magazines anymore, like about games.
Yeah,
I think.
it's like it's like owned by GameStop now, and it's like absolute garbage.
It's exactly what you expect. It's exactly what you expect.
Don't read that garbage.
It's a rag. It's like a rag, basically. You could wipe stuff with it. But anyway, I did get one other thing.
Wipe your rear end with
and I
copies.
asked Pat if he wanted it, and he said, no, it's okay. You can. And you made a mistake, bro, because it actually, no offense to Humble Bazooka, but I definitely had my expectations tempered about this. I was just like, oh, how good could this possibly be, right? How good could just another USB dongle be? I don't actually know the answer to that question, but I wasn't expecting it to be great. So far I'm very impressed. I'm impressed with everything. I'm impressed with like the build quality of this thing. The build quality, he went all plastic rather than using a metal. Rather than using like a metal connector, he went with a plastic one. That's kind of like, it's 2 pieces. Like there's actually 3 pieces here: the bottom, the top cover,
and then for one piece,
and then this. But all together, it's so solid. The way it snaps together, it's so rock solid. It's very thick, if I can use that word. And then it's got like, I don't know. It's just the construction here is really smart. There's no screws. It just uses these like tabs, but it all locks together really solid. You stick it in the Saturn, it's very snug, but not so much that it's like a death grip and you can't pull it out. It's just not going to go anywhere. Even if you kind of happen to bump it or something, it's not going anywhere. It as soon as you boot on your Saturn, it comes up in discovery mode. And so if you got a controller like this, they just pair. It's like magic. Nothing. You don't have to do anything.
It's the
same thing as the retro Rosetta, right?
Yeah.
The only thing with the retro Rosetta, disclaimer or whatever, is that the whole point of that was the multiplayer, multiple controllers, right? So the fact that he sent us one with just essentially one controller cord means that it's just a large dongle, right? It's just a large receiver. If we had received one that had 2, then I could have tested out the multiplayer functionality. And his whole argument was like using one radio for multiple controllers, right? So there's less power draw and there's no interference from one radio to another, right? So that was the whole point. So anyway, I'm not bad-mouthing Retro Rosetta in any way, not saying it wasn't great. I think it's great.
I like it a lot. The thing is that the reason I passed it was like, well, I guess I could, but I mean, it's just no offense to anybody that's working on them, but it's like the same device that just use the Bluetooth thing. Like the features weren't like different, so I was like, okay, you can. So the Retro Rosetta is essentially, so like, I would say that, and I don't know if I have it like sitting around here somewhere, but maybe I do. No, maybe I don't. Anyway, so Retro Rosetta is essentially the same thing as this. This is just miniaturized. Whereas Retro Rosetta, you get the box, and then you could cut up your own cables and make your own,
put them onto the header, and create an octopus with like four cables, right? And essentially, you could put it up somewhere high, like a radio, and have like a very good line of sight. You could just avoid any kind of interference, right? So that's great. But again, in the form that we received it, I wasn't really able to test any of that functionality. So really just as it is, it's basically like this, except this I could put in my pocket and take to a convention or something, right?
No, that makes sense.
Now this with Hall sensors, I don't know if there's anything to that, but and again, I need to test it. So let me ask you this: did you test the Retro Rosetta with like a with like a Retrobit pad? Did that work?
No, what do you mean a Retrobit pad?
Were you able to
You mean
use
like the Bluetooth one?
like the Bluetooth Retrobit pads? Were you able to get those to connect to Blue Retro?
I didn't try.
You didn't try. Okay, I need to try that and see if that'll work. Unless
Yeah, I didn't think of that. Because I already had the adapter for the 2.4 gigahertz one.
Yeah.
So I just did that. But I do.
Oh, okay.
I do want to
yeah.
try the things. I couldn't figure out the web browser thing. How does that work?
Oh, it's super easy. So it's super easy. You're gonna go to you go to the Blue Retro project. I will put I'll put a link up somewhere. I can't do it right now, but I will. You go to the Blue Retro project and there's a link for the web UI. Click on that and it actually says connect to radio, and you hit the connect button and it searches, finds your thing immediately, and it connects to it, and then all you have to do is just change gamepad to gamepad alt, and then you're in.
But you need a Bluetooth device for that, right?
Well, my PC is Bluetooth.
Oh, mine doesn't. I need to get a dongle for that.
Your PC doesn't have Bluetooth?
No.
Okay, so you could use your phone. You could use like your mobile phone, right? That has Bluetooth.
You can?
Yeah, sure. Any mobile, any mobile browser, yeah. Any mobile, so you could just go to the site on your phone and do it that way.
I'm pretty dumb.
Yeah.
I should have done that.
Well, anyway, it's easy to do. It is a pain in the butt. Like Knight said, it's not preferable, but I don't think that it's the ultimate end all. I don't think that it's what they plan on.
Do you want to put that article up, by the way, or
is it not live?
We talk about that.
Oh yeah.
No, you didn't put
Since we're talking about this, we should, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
so,
yeah. By the way, the last update is I finished my tattoo up, so the tattoo's all shaded now. So I'll put that.
Oh, nice. Okay. Get closer. Can you get any closer to the camera? Because it's like washing it out with the lights. Okay, that looks cool.
So I'll have to get that.
Very nice.
Get that done.
Detective Conan. No, that's
like
great. Yeah, I knew you liked Detective Conan, but I didn't know you liked it tattoo. Enough to get a tattoo.
It's one of it was the first anime that really got me back into anime, where it's like, oh yeah, anime's more than just like the sexual innuendo shows, like just the stuff like that. It was more like it could be more than that. So
yeah. Next is you're gonna get like a big AE86 on your back.
I was thinking about an R34.
R34, nice, yeah.
Actually, I was talking about doing like a whole like a manga arm, so just have all my favorite manga going down my arm, like an Egyptian sort of thing. So I get like my next one I wanted to get is like an Evangelion one. That'd be kind of cool. Well,
do you want to skip ahead to Dan's article on Blue Retro?
It's right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll skip ahead. We'll talk about it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the other one is just the Phoenix Comic Con. We already talked about that one. So.
Yeah, but did you talk about Wackenroder and the Batsugan thing?
Yeah, we did it last weekend.
Last weekend?
We did the show, yeah.
Oh, you did it on the show. Okay. Okay. So Dan is with us in the voice chat, and I would like to give him the opportunity to say whatever he'd like to say about this first before I keep talking, which I do a lot of.
Well, I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, you kind of went over a lot
about your article.
Well,
a lot of things that aren't even in the article about the build quality and that sort of thing and your experience with it. We did edit at the end of the story here your couple of YouTube videos you uploaded today of yourself trying out the adapter, playing Knight and Croc. So that was pretty cool. But anyway, so yeah, just kind of generally go over it. This is an adapter that is coming to market, expected by late July, that will allow modern Bluetooth controllers to be used with original Saturn hardware. Its hardware design has just been finalized. The shell, really, the kind of design of the shell was just finalized last Friday on June 2nd. Humble Bazooka has been working on this thing, and he tweeted out that he finalized the design, and he is hoping to have it in stores by the end of July. And those stores will be Stone Age Gamer, which will be for like North Americans looking to buy it because they are based in the grand old state of Ohio, and it will cost $39.99. And then if you're in Europe, you'll be able to, I think you can order from Stone Age Gamer as well, but you're going to be paying overseas shipping. So it'll probably be cheaper to order it from the UK-based 8-Bit Mods website. And they're going to sell the Saturn BT for just under £40 or €40, whatever currency you use. And right now you can go to either of those websites, to their Saturn BT pages, and ask to be notified. You can kind of sign up. Whenever they actually start getting them in stock, probably next month, you can order one.
Or
so
2 or 3 or 5.
Or all of them, yes.
Put 12 in your house.
Don't scalp them, please. But yeah, so the way it
I
works,
didn't say scalp them. I said get 12 and put them all in your, was it 2, 4, 6, 8, 6 different Saturns.
some people have that many, so they could.
Exactly. Ask Sega Steve or Kay.
And
I'm fairly sure that's a low number.
A portion of each sale is donated to Jacques. Yeah. Darth Cloud.
Yeah.
It's
And
donated directly to my wallet, so...
Yeah, Darth is the developer of the Blue Retro platform that makes this all possible. Blue Retro, if I'm understanding it correctly, Blue Retro is both like a code base and also like schematics for the circuit, right? Yeah, and so like Humble Bazooka didn't develop any of that part of it. Blue Retro is, a platform that allows Bluetooth devices to connect to all kinds of different retro consoles.
It's open source, though. It's open source. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool, though, that the Humble Bazooka is going to donate a portion of his sales of this thing to Darth Cloud, because it's, essentially all thanks to him. So that is cool. So I was just going to say real quick that the way it works is it's essentially just gets inserted into your Saturn controller port. And then you said when it first gets put in there, it's in discovery mode. So it'll just like connect to any Bluetooth controller that is also looking to pair with something, like a PlayStation controller, an Xbox controller, 'cause it does work with X input, and also Switch Joy-Cons or the 8-bit DOE Bluetooth controller. Probably a bunch of others too. Like it was the you were using, Dave, you're testing out the Hall sensors?
I was using the wireless Zen Pro. This is the Gully Kit controller. They're the only ones currently selling controllers with wireless Hall sensors. And they also offer replacement Joy-Con sticks for your Joy-Cons that are smaller but still using Hall sensors.
Is the controller actually good to use? Or is like
this controller is freaking fantastic. Knight has it as well. I love the way that it feels in the hand. It's heavy. It's very precise. I always own at Mario Kart with this thing. And what else can I say about it? It was like $50 at Target.
Tell me the price. Okay,
$49.99 at Target.
Oh, sweet. I'll have to ask my sister to give me some discounts on that.
Some people will know it as the King Kong 2 if you bought it from Gully Kit's website, but they lowered it $10 by skipping out on like the plastic case that it comes in. So like if you buy it from Gully Kit's website, you get kind of like a plastic case to put it in. But if you don't want to do that, you can go to Target and pick it up as the wireless Zen Pro for $10 cheaper. And Target has some kind of exclusive deal to sell it.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
So it was that, or I was really thinking hard about getting another Switch Pro, like Nintendo branded Switch Pro controller. But I was just like, I'm going to give this a shot, because I refunded. I got a refund for that Nixie pad, which actually I think, the Nixie one for what was it? The Nixie pad for the GameCube kind of style. You remember that, Pat? It was like Nixie
pad?
It was like Joy-Cons basically that you would put on the side of your Switch, and it was purple, and it kind of looked like a It kind of it was called the Nixie Wizard, NNYXI.
The GameCube ones.
And when it came, when pictures came out, it was, so those use Hall sensors as well. So I stand corrected. Those use Hall sensors which was part of the reason I wanted to do it. I wanted to. It was like interchangeable sticks,
But
and they were
remember,
Hall.
Hall sensors does not a good controller make sometimes.
No, you're right. It does, just because it has Hall sensors doesn't immediately make it a good controller. But this is good. Like you could literally use this as a weapon, and it would still work as a controller. I think. So I
mean,
recommend.
There's only
it.
one way to find out.
I'm not trying to shill for Gully Kit, but I am saying that like I love this controller and I've had it for months now. So anyway,
for Gully Kid.
I want to know though, Knight, what do you think of the controller?
Got to know.
I'm not as enthused about it as you are.
You're not as enthused. What don't you like?
The analog button itself is fine, or the sticks themselves are fine,
Yeah.
but the button build is terrible on the Gully, the King Kong 2 specifically. I don't have the Zen one.
Okay, what is it about it?
Sticky.
Sticky.
They'll squeak.
Really?
And the triggers are mushy.
Okay.
Now,
So
there are like fixes for this online, but if you just buy straight up and don't know what you're doing, you're not going to have a good time.
that's interesting. Like those triggers feel pretty clicky. These ones are analog, so they're like springy. And then the D-pad is not the best D-pad in the world, but then again, no D-pad even comes close to the Saturn's D-pad. If you're to be honest. And then,
Knight's getting called out on live stream.
no, I'm not. I'm just wondering if there's a difference. Pat, stop giving me a hard time. I appreciate Knight's opinion, okay? Because I know that he's going to be critical of something if it falls short of. But this doesn't feel. The thing is, this doesn't feel any different to me than like a wireless 360 Xbox 360 controller. What?
Consistent.
What?
I said maybe the build quality is just inconsistent.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
For worse buttons.
How long have you been using it for?
I've been using this for about 4 to 5 months.
Okay, I was gonna say maybe it's like a thing where it's like the more you play it, the more like bad it gets, sort of thing.
Like you can click the sticks in. That feels good. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not. Maybe I have a wireless 360 pad that I love to use for emulation and stuff like that. This feels every bit as good as that, and this feels better to me than my Switch Pro controller. I really don't like the Nintendo Switch Pro controller because I think that it's just the D-pad is too big. There's certain things about it that I don't like.
I actually do really like the Switch Pro controller, but I have like a special one. I have like the Splatoon one that has like the 2-colored handle things, which I like because I'm a big Splatoon fan.
Well, that's cool. I mean, and the volume sensors work fine until they start drifting. That's all. And then you can go into the Switch and you can kind of recalibrate. You can get away with that for a little while, and I don't know, but mileage may vary, you know. So again, I haven't owned this long enough to really like do significant damage to it, but I have let both my son and his friends use this, and my son prefers to use this over any other controllers that we have. So they've beat it up a little bit, and it still works great. So anyway, with the Saturn, my experience was good. That's all I'm saying is, you know, it was pretty good. Knight is correct though. I do need to do like a side-by-side video where I'm switching back and forth between the 3D control pad, like the legit 3D control pad, and this, and see exactly what the difference is, because really there's just nothing like the Sega's 3D control pad. And part of that is because it does have its own little integrated circuit in there, you know, that has that, I don't know, what is that, algorithm for interpreting input.
Algorithm interpretation.
Anything else we wanted to say about this article?
I just want to say that, you know, sometimes it's okay. There's no really right or wrong, but all I'm saying is that whoever's wrong on this instance is going to have a live finger breaking. We're going to film it, and they're going to admit they're wrong, and then we break their fingers live on air.
Oh, Dan put that.
So
well, I was actually talking to Dan, not you, Pat. I wanted to know if Dan had anything else to say.
He's excited for the finger breaking.
He did include the link, blueretro.io, right here in the thing, and there's the web config. So easy. You just go advance and then connect. You hit connect.
That's awesome.
And then it says, you know, not able. Well, right now I don't have my Saturn turned on, but it does work very easily.
Yeah, I should probably get that sorted. But yeah, I think Dan wanted to request to be able to be the finger breaker with the hammer. Is that correct, Dan?
That is not correct. Those are unsubstantiated rumors.
I don't know, man. Last time I checked, you were going to Home Depot, so I'm not saying that you're going to be the finger breaker, but all I'm saying is that Dan's going to Home Depot looking for some new hammers is all I'm saying.
Okay, so anyway, back to the Saturn BT. So one of the I guess one of the things that kind of distinguishes this and that Humble Bazooka seemed kind of proud of is that it is using injection molding for the case.
Yes.
He had originally, when he announced the name Saturn BT about a month ago, tweeted out like prototype pictures where he was just kind of using a different, like a 3D printing type of method to make this thing. And then he decided to go whole hog with it and actually work with a company to do injection molding, which he told us on our own Discord server. He answered a few of my questions on there last week. He said that you can see there's a quality jump going to the injection molds, and it was a lot of work for him to with a lot back and forth with the injection mold company. Because he's never done it before, so he was kind of learning all about these guidelines and rules they have for it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is now he has done little like adapter, molds, little cases for quite a few retro consoles. Trying to look for where I've got the paragraph for that in this draw. Here we go. Like Atari Jaguar, TurboGrafx 16, PC Engine, Neo Geo, and 3DO. He's made dongles for all of those, Bluetooth dongles. And he sells them all at Stone Age Gamer and 8-Bit Mods. And he decided to do the Saturn one in injection mold this time. And I asked him, so why did you want to go with injection molding, even though it costs more, it was more effort? And he said he thinks it's going to be worth it because there's a larger demand for Saturn Bluetooth adapters than for those other retro consoles. So I put in the story, it's up to Saturn fans to prove him right when it goes on sale next month. He said it's an experiment to give this a viable solution.
So here's another fun fact. It's my understanding that he's also working with Gaming and Jinkos to help develop that transmitter for the 3D control pad.
Yeah. I've got that in the story too. He's working with Gaming and Jinkos on a Bluetooth adapter that connects to the original Saturn 3D analog gamepad. Yeah. And that'll let it communicate wirelessly to your Saturn. You use your original controller. And
the fact that he's using. Well, the fact that he has access to the injection molding is fantastic because he'll be able to, like, the texture of this is very similar to the texture of the 3D control pad. He'll be able to get it to look very, like, legit, and it'll just feel great. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah, we have that to look forward to.
Yeah. And it sounds like there is a plan eventually to create like a button combination that will toggle on and off the analog function, so you don't have to do it. Cool. Yeah, it's totally possible. It's literally just one of those things where it's easier right now. They're doing all the configuration through the web UI, so just having that is like the base standard for it. But being able to program like a button combo is totally within the realm of possibility. It's just one of those things that he's still, now he's ironed out the hardware and stuff like that. He's going to make improvements and firmware updates, stuff like that, So
I think David Zaney asked, how does it stack up to the Brook adapter, Dave?
Don't have a Brook adapter, and so I can't tell you. Although I've only heard good things about the Brook adapter. What I can tell you, and I'll go on the record and say this right now, it is better than the RetroBit analog that we tried out at PRGE.
Wow.
Now here's the deal. First of all,
that's not a fair comparison, though. If you think
first of all, it's not a fair comparison
because it's like technically that it's better because I can put my PS4 controller connected to it, and obviously the PS4 runs circles around the RetroBit controller. But
here's the other thing too. So the degree of travel. Sorry, I can't get my hand in front of this. The degree of travel of this stick is going to be very close to the degree of travel that you get with this. Okay, with the 3D analog. it's a similar degree of travel, which means that when you're doing paraloops and stuff like that, it's almost a one-to-one feeling from what you're used to, you know, minus the fact that these are a little rickety, you know. But I mean, so where you're using those tiny little Alps sticks on the Joy-Cons, it's a tiny little movement equals a huge result on the screen. You know what I mean? And that took me like 10 minutes to get used to when we were testing those things. And then once I got used to it, it was kind of negligible and I was having fun with it. So here's the thing. I don't know if that was the difference maker. I don't know if it was just the fact that I wasn't used to how small the sticks were versus like how much output you get from them on screen, or if it was really the fact that like using Blue Retro versus whatever proprietary thing Retrobit is using. I don't know. But I will say it was better. It is better. Like I'm aware, I'm just slightly aware that there's some kind of latency, but honestly, it's like hardly even there. I was actually able to play nights. I wasn't really like next I need to go and I need to try to like reduplicate some of my high scores and see if it's possible with this. But so far,
see if you're still a badass dude doing that.
So far, it's very promising. It's very promising. And I also need to play like a twitchy shooter where I don't know, Batsugan or whatever. I need to play something that's like a really twitchy shooter.
Shmuppy.
So I can see exactly like or Galactic Attack or something. So I can just tell what the actual latency is. But digital is what I tried out first, and there didn't seem to be any issues with that. It's no worse than the Retrobit 2.4 gigahertz pads that we've been. How's about that? I mean, 2.4 gigahertz, you expect it to be really good. Because it's usually had the upper hand over Bluetooth, but it certainly is not perceivably worse than that. And if anything, it might be better. So really, that I just want to say to Retrobit that I am happy that I've been happy with the Retrobit products just because they're one of the few companies that has really put any kind of time or care into giving us Saturn stuff
and decent ass controllers is
but now that the fans are doing what the fans do, which they're coming in and kind of filling a need, it's like they got to step it up. I understand that they have to do certain things, they have to jump through certain hoops in order to retain the license, the Sega license, and that's very important to them. But now that Sega won't even allow them to print the Sega logo on their controllers either way, you know, whether they retain the license or not, it's like they're looking to retain the Sega Saturn logo on their controllers. And I think that fans don't really care about that as much as they think we do. Like we would much rather pay for a solid product that's going to work great for the Saturn than get something that has like the Saturn logo on it. Because think about how much more of the budget they had to pay for that license, you know, versus just, you know, making a really rock solid product like 8-Bit Dough, for example. You know, 8-Bit Dough, they make really good products, and now their name has become a solid name that people respect just as much as, as far as like retro stuff goes, you know, the name is strong. So, you know, here's this mentality that, we got to have Sega on there because that'll give us a strong name, you know, that license. But I mean, if the product is poor, it doesn't matter if you have that name or not, you know. Instead, just make good products and your name will become synonymous with quality is all I'm saying. You know, I realize that that's a little critical, but I have to be, you know, at the end of the day.
You are critical, Dave. You are.
I expect them to think long and hard about
pushing
the fact.
Dave down flights of stairs.
Okay,
Just
so
joking.
So like the Alp sticks that they're buying, right? They're cheap, right? They're dirt cheap, and they're volume sensors, and it's essentially exactly what you get with the Wii, with the Joy-Cons, right? But now that Gully Kit has made the replacements available for really reasonable cost to end consumers, and they're a company, they might be able to work out some kind of bulk buy from Gully Kit. I can't imagine. There's just no good excuse for them to put out those Bluetooth the Bluetooth analog controllers with volume sensors at this point, because I think fans are not gonna be happy.
Fans want whole sensors, please.
And if they give it to us,
please.
I'll review it. I'll review them for what they are, and I'll be honest about it. And if it works great, that's great. But I'm not gonna pull any punches in terms of like, well, let's see how long this lasts on a wear and tear test, because I'm gonna throw this in my bag.
Dave's plan on tying it to a rope and just driving throughout town, like doing a whole drive with this controller strapped to the back of his car and seeing if it lives. I'm just joking. We're not going to do that.
Yeah. Those guys are super nice, and they're super like reasonable to talk to too. So I'm just hoping,
and
I'm hoping that they do like make that concession. You know what I'm saying? And maybe they can. I don't know. I don't know if it's possible to, because I realize they have to keep that price within a certain.
Yeah, it's like.
But I mean, if other people can do it, like if Gully Kit can sell this, if Gully Kit can sell this with Hall sensors for $50 at Target, then I just don't understand why. It really comes down to that license. You're paying money to be able to put that name on your controller, and that eats into the budget. That eats into the budget.
But I'm excited to see what they do. I haven't heard any updates about the thumbstick controllers as of yet.
Yeah. Yeah, me neither. I don't mind the form factor though. I don't mind the form factor. I actually, a lot of people were just like, hey, it doesn't look like the original prototype that they showed with the big knobby sticks. I didn't like that to begin with. I thought that looked kind of silly. So I like the small sticks. I'm okay with that because they don't get caught on anything, they're nice and low profile.
It felt like it conformed pretty well to the controller.
Yeah, that part I don't mind at all. And the controller felt really good in the hand, and it was just heavy enough. Felt like a quality product. It was just like that. That was that one thing.
I think it was like, it was like and the thing is that we don't know if that might, because we were able to test it on like an actual CRT.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we weren't. We tested on an LCD.
Because maybe if you try it on the same environment that you did, maybe it won't be perceivably different. And that's the thing, though, is that we kind of we're at the mercy of it. Because
you know what? You're right. We were testing it on whatever that capture method, whatever that it was like the crappiest like pound cable or something like that, right? It was kind of like a pound cable.
Yeah, plugged into like a tablet.
Yeah, into a tablet. Okay. Yeah. You know what? Like, yeah. So it's not fair for me to. We did the best that we could on the show floor, and my takeaway was positive. My takeaway was positive. Like I could play nights like this. I could play Croc like this. It works. But again,
honestly, we should take a retro tank and not have me give it to the event staff for competition, and just plug it into like a great whatever display they have there, and just try it on there and see like where the bullet meets the bone.
I will say
in the Twilight Zone.
There is you could see Segata.
I like the logo on it.
You see Segata on there? I guess he's not making it into the final revision, which is kind of a bummer. But oh well.
I mean that makes sense.
I guess yeah.
Probably need to get imaging rights to that.
You just want to be. He wants to be as safe as possible, and I totally. But then I wonder. Then does that mean that the Saturn logo on the back is gonna go too? I don't know.
I mean, you should ask him.
I'm
jealous though. Now you have a limited edition copy of that.
I know, right? And it's a different color too, because it turns out he's going with. He decided to go with like the smoke gray, the dark smoke, which actually honestly looks really cool. But yeah, so this is just the clear, right? You can see it right here. That's
I'm gonna message Bob and see. I'm gonna message Bob and see if he can.
If he has any more.
No, if he could message the guy and I just pay him directly and he sends me the limited edition copy.
There you go.
I'm like, yo, I love this. Can I get another? I love the one Dave had. Is there?
Well, actually, I was gonna message Bob and say, hey, I think this turned out to be a lot better than we thought. I think Pat wants to mess around with one.
Yeah,
too.
Do that. Just be like, hey, say he'll pay for it. I just want that cool Segata on there. So
yeah,
that's all I want. Like, if they can hook me up with that, I'll pay him the money. I have the money. There's no money issues per se. So
hey guys, I'll play this without audio here. Let's see here. I wasn't going to do this, but just so you guys see, or you could just check out this video. But right now, like, it's pretty good. Like, it's pretty good. It's hard for me to tell. It's hard for me to tell right now.
All right.
That there's any analog latency here. And I'm gonna have to use the other one side by side to be able to tell it's that close. Yeah, there's something that the thing about the, what's funny with this?
Me?
I didn't even
I'm pretty
notice.
funny.
I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice any kind of like weirdness where it's like using the analog as digital input or something. Like Night was it like the pair loops feel just as good. They feel just as tight. It's so weird. Like it really does. Because it's interpreting the data differently, right? This 3D control pad has some kind of proprietary circuitry in it. That's what Kenji Tosaki explained to us. He said it has its own little chip on there, and that is responsible for outputting in your input as like a complicated curve. I'm a complete idiot, but I'm just saying, repeating.
I think the terminology is outputting D's.
I'm repeating what he said, so directly from the horse's mouth.
Outputting D's and
essentially, he had to work really hard on that to get it just perfect. And so in that way, it's fundamentally different. And this could never, or any controller you throw at this that has analog sensor, could never completely recreate that one-to-one, right? But this feels really good for what it is. I don't know how it's working, but it's working great. So that is all.
I'm happy. I'm happy, and I know it. Let's play it.
So yeah.
Baby.
What else? Oh yeah, I uploaded another thing from the archive. Tom Kalinske interview. I think I used auto silence truncation on when I was editing it, and it kind of messed it up a little bit. So I might have to I might have to redo it and re-upload it to our podcast feed, because every once in a while Tom will be talking and it'll like cut off the end of his sentence or something like that, because we had a really crappy connection. This was the Uplink Expo, and we were using their proprietary streaming like their proprietary video conferencing software, and oh my god, was it buggy.
Wasn't it that we used Google and we streamed that into OBS? And we connected to their thing, right?
Was it like we used Google Meet, but then we streamed that into?
Yeah.
They insisted on us using some very specific software.
Yeah, it was like Google Meet, and then I had to edit it, like post in OBS, and it was just a mess.
It was a mess, and Pat was like frantically trying to like fix everything while we were doing it.
Because it crashes, and then it just reorientates the entire video.
Oh my god!
And it put everyone's name back around, so you see halfway through the live stream a bunch of names going back in position because we crash halfway through it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it was a great interview, though. We did get some insights. Some of the questions kind of fell flat because he was under NDA still, couldn't talk about certain things. But I mean, for the most part,
the Michael Jackson thing still makes me sad.
I asked a question that kind of he got upset about. He's like, "Look, buddy, we made money. We made some serious money for Sega." And I was like, "Whoa." Like I was like asking, so like when did you plan on finally making a payout, from that long game, and he took that question kind of, but he took it a little personally, I think, but honestly, I'm glad that he was very passionate in this interview. Like I may have ruffled his feathers a little bit, but my friend Mel said, don't blow this one, go in there and ask him some hard hitting questions, And so I did, and you could even tell, like, he kind of raises his voice at me, and he's like, "Look, we made Sega a buttload of money," or something like that, To
be fair, so, he was probably the most intimidating interview we've done, but
yeah,
I mean, he was nice at the end of the day, but I mean, like, he answered it like he shut me down completely with the Michael Jackson one. So it's
he just did, yeah.
You shouldn't feel bad, but like he was. Like,
and then you asked him about RPG. You asked him about RPGs, and he's like, "As far as I remember, we had RPGs on the Saturn," and that was like all he wanted to comment about it. But honestly, like there were some other really good questions that kind of yielded. Hey,
John 5, it's
insights.
new if you haven't listened to it before, so.
It's a good one. I think I need to like re-edit the audio just so it's a little cleaner, but. Either way, we wanted to dig it out because I noticed, I'm looking at some of these old interviews. I'm like, a lot of people missed this, didn't even know that we did it. So I figured put it out in the archive, and that way folks could experience it if they wanted to.
I'm surprised. I didn't remember there was much editing before when we released it. Was there a lot of stuff for the original one? Because I remember we put it up
The original
originally.
one, there was a ton of vamping. You know, there was a ton of vamping where before he got there. Then when he got there, there was a bunch of, there was a bunch of technical difficulties, a bunch of stuff that wouldn't really make sense if you were just listening to an audio version of it. You'd be like, what's going on here? So I just wanted to like cut out the actual interview portion and put it up as an archive interview.
Okay, that's fair.
And that way, if somebody who's writing an article or doing a YouTube video or something, they want to reach out to us and say, hey, there's a soundbite from this interview that reveals a certain insight, we would like to use it.
And we could be like,
there
okay, $1,000 per soundbite.
No, just permission. Like ask permission, and we're totally fine with it. Just don't yoink it and don't give credit or whatever. Croc HD.
I was in a joke. I was like, that Pandemonium guy likes doing that. Gives us no credit when he takes the interview. And I was like, oh wait, we produce him. Never mind.
So we had a lot of gex on our most recent podcast.
Hot gex,
hot steamy gex. And then and of course, Scott the Waz gave gex a lot of attention in recent years. And then you had, of course, Bug.
He made it really gexy to talk about it.
Nick made an awesome Bug video, so Bug got some attention. Well, now it's Croc's turn, and I think Dan Thrax can lead off this article that he put up on our website.
Sure.
Is it a Croc of something else?
It's a Croc of something, but it's a good
tell
Croc.
me when I read it. So Croc, which is one of the only 3D platformers to grace the Saturn library, is coming to modern platforms, according to one of its original executive producers, Jez San.
That's right.
Who tweeted out earlier this week on Tuesday that he has news. It's a little premature to announce it, but a Croc HD has started early development. And then
everybody announces it.
Yeah, everybody kind of freaks out. So he tweeted this out because he was replying to a writer for a retro gaming website called Time Extension. And that writer, James Batchelor, I think he's also at another website. I can't remember off the top of my head, but so he wrote a story in which he interviewed the lead designer of Croc, Nick Cusworth, and it's a good interview. It's a good article. Everybody should check it out. Props to him. He had some interesting stuff. He mentions the Sega Saturn a few times in there, and kind of talks about the development process that they went through, and it's pretty cool. And so he tweeted out his own article by saying, now to campaign for a Croc remaster. And he kind of seemed maybe a little facetious, but even if he was, the one of the two executive producers of Croc, and he is also the founder of Argonaut Software, the developer of Croc. Jez San took the opportunity to say to him, hey, so yeah, about that, we are working on a Croc HD.
I like it.
And then there's some drama.
There's a little bit of drama. I mean, I don't know how much, but I thought it was worth pointing out that the character designer of Croc, who's named Simon Keating, he actually made his way to this Twitter thread, and he said, who's making it? As in, like, who's developing the Croc HD? He said, I'm the original character designer, and I wasn't invited to the party. So, and there's been no reply to him since. So it's kind of sad. I don't know if they feel like they don't need him because the character's designed, so, and the company has their own artists. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, no offense to him. I mean, obviously, if there's something he can contribute, but I mean, like what is there a design more of? Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe he just would.
I don't mean to be rude, but like
to the loop and told about it. I don't know. He apparently has not been. But
well, it was premature to announce, right? I mean, he shouldn't have said. Jez shouldn't have said anything, honestly, if he didn't, because that's the way the internet works, right? You don't preface something by saying this is a little premature,
right?
But here it is,
Yeah, I mean, his questions like asking like when they did Star Fox 2 release, is like, oh, why was I informed about this? I worked on the character back then,
right?
And it's like there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, unless I'm wrong, like if he wants to come on and correct me, I'm more than welcome to talk to him about it. Maybe there's something we're missing, but it seems like there's a missing context there that needs to be resolved or like filled in.
Maybe for an HD remake, you would need to kind of redesign the character with a bit more detail. Because again, like the original Croc design was fairly simple to translate to low poly design.
Yeah.
So maybe, maybe he would want to come in and kind of like help give it an HD, treatment. In terms of give him more scales, maybe give him I don't know. I'm spitballing here, but
and like I said, we don't know like what like original character design is very vague. It's like, are you initial character designer or are you like doing storyboard? Are you doing like
he designed how Croc looks. He was like as one of the two character designers in the credits for Croc Legend of the Gobos. So
right. Yeah,
and apparently what is kind of interesting, I like this one person on Twitter asked, so who owns the intellectual property of Croc? Because it was originally it was developed by Argonaut Software but published by Fox when Fox used to be in game publishing.
Right.
And Jez San actually replied simply, I do. So I guess when Argonaut Software went out of business, I think around 2006 or so, I guess he retained that intellectual property. Fox doesn't have it.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, he probably get that, but I doubt he's ever going to get Star Fox ever.
Sure. I mean, that's Nintendo. Right. Yeah. I'm sure maybe sign a contract, and they were all working in Nintendo's offices in Japan on that. So
yeah, it's kind of technically a Nintendo game.
Yeah,
well, also, like Miyamoto had his hand in that. And with the character, like Argonaut was responsible for the technology, stuff like that. But it was really like Miyamoto's idea, going through the arches to the temple and stuff like that. And so there's a lot there that is proprietary Nintendo. But the funny thing about Croc was that they were designing what was supposed to be a Yoshi game, right? And then Nintendo was just kind of like, yeah, we don't need that anymore. So then they went off and they made their own game. So Croc really is like their own thing, but it's kind of crazy. Similar, it shares a kind of a similar background then to Bug, where real time as the Tiger team were like, yeah, there's supposed to be a Sonic game, and then they're like, actually,
no, thank you,
no thanks, we don't want an American company designing a Sonic game.
So so that's pretty much the story. There isn't too much more to it right now. I mean, here's the thing: with him making this premature announcement, we don't know what Croc HD really means. Are they just going, have it run, have the PS1 version or the original PC version, or even the Saturn one run on an emulator, and they just upscale to HD, or are they full on remaking the thing, and they're gonna just have a whole bunch of tweaks across the board from the way he moves to the level design to whatever else?
He literally uses Croc HD in quotations, so it's like you couldn't get any more obscure than that.
Yeah, like if you're calling it Croc HD, like that kind of feels like, okay, it's just the original game and now it's at a higher resolution, maybe there's some anti-aliasing going on and whatnot, and like it makes it sound like it's more of an HD remaster and less of a...
Whoa, somebody got a tattoo of Croc? What the hell?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Quite the tattoo.
Wow, that's a dedication right there. Imagine it's like you have to explain that like every single time. Oh yeah, it's a game that was on Saturn, but it was supposed to be a Yoshi game. It's like a whole conversation piece right there.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
So yeah, there's still a lot left to be revealed about this thing. We have no idea when it'll even be ready. He said it's early, so it's an early development. So I mean, it might be still a couple years away. So a lot more details to find out. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, and that would make sense why you wouldn't reach out to the character designer if it's just like it's just like upscale. It's like upscaled or HD upscaled with like 720p and stuff like that. So it wouldn't make sense if they didn't reach out to a character designer, because it's like, why would they need that for just upscaling that to...
Yeah, you probably didn't think you needed to let everyone who worked on the game 30 or 25 years ago know about this, project. He's the intellectual property owner, and everybody else is probably split off to the four winds of the earth, and they have their own things going on. So he's like, yeah, who would care? I'm going to do that.
Exactly. It's not like a legal requirement, but it'd be nice. But like, Yeah, he owns it, so he could be like, yeah, I'm just gonna redo it with entirely different staff,
So
new voice
apparently,
actors, everybody.
back in 2020, he tweeted, "One day I'd like to remake it. I'll get inbound all the time. I get inbound all the time from folks who want to do it. One day." And that was 2020, so
We must have found some.
I
Do you
guess.
think Robert Cuthbert's gonna be Cuthbert's gonna be working on this at all?
And was it Andrew Cuthbert?
I forgot what his name was. The guy that did Star Fox.
Sure, yeah.
Or if he's gonna be involved in some capacity.
I do not know. He was like the genius behind a lot of like the Faceball and like a lot of their 3D stuff, right?
I don't remember if he had any involvement with a Croc though.
Yeah, I don't either. I know that
Maybe he
was
might not
his
have
name
been.
was like synonymous with Argonaut. What is
Yeah, so I
this?
assume he would want to be part of it. It's
What
probably some like
some tell me it looks like
render
this. Some fan render or something like that.
some Unreal thing. Yeah.
Unreal, yeah. Croc running in Unreal. Okay, so anyway, that was good. Thank you for that, Dan.
Sure.
I'm excited. I am a fan of Croc, despite its admittedly bad controls. They're really rough. And then of course the Saturn version, it doesn't help that the camera is panned or is zoomed quite a bit in. I would say it's about 25% more zoomed in than the PlayStation version, and that's probably just to keep it from rendering too much so the frame rate doesn't drop. That's my theory, at least. It kind of, by zooming it in there, you're rendering less polygons.
Yeah, my thing is I don't think there's gonna be a good win with the control style. So it's either they go with if they go with the original, it's gonna be like, oh, these controls suck. This is garbage. It's early. Or if they like do a whole revamp of the controls to make it more like a modern day platformer, it's gonna be like, oh, it's just a generic character platformer game. So I don't think they can really win with that one.
By the way, I looked up the credits for Croc again real quick here, and Dylan Cuthbert's name is nowhere.
Cuthbert.
Yeah, but I imagine that's probably because he was probably busy working on Star Fox at the same time this game was being made. They both came out the same year, 1997.
Really,
What?
the original Star
Fox was 92.
64.
Star
sorry.
Fox 6.
64.
Yeah, Star Fox 64 or Star Fox 2. Well, he was really busy on Star Fox 2, which got canceled but became Star Fox 64. Like a lot of the elements got pushed over to Star Fox 64. So yeah, he was probably deep into that.
Yes. Well, anyway, he doesn't appear in the credits of Croc, so I don't know what he was doing, but it wasn't this game.
I'll tell you
he might
this
have just
though,
went
Pat.
straight to Nintendo.
To your point about how well it'll do, I will say that one of the things that Croc has going for it in spades is personality, and like identity. Like it has like a there's like a cult following. Like people really like this game. They really resonated with it back in the day. As far as it's not Mario 64, it can't touch Mario 64 as far as like how good that game is. They got everything so right about it first time. That's the wonderful thing about Mario 64 is like no patches needed. It just was so good right off the bat. Of course,
Even though it did have a patch.
Yeah. Subsequently, the fan community has patched the heck out of it and even made it a better game. But I mean,
Oh no, I meant like the other version of it that was released in Japan where they actually patched it.
right? Okay. Sorry. Fine. I'll eat my words. But the point is, the game was like just almost so perfect out of the gate. You had things like Bubsy 3D trying so hard. You had Bug trying their own, quad scroll thing, but like Mario 64, hardly anything can touch that. But Croc came close, and again, it had a lot of personality. I think that's what makes people still want to go back to it, even as rough as it is. Like on the Saturn, it's just fun. It's colorful. It has its own unique characters. It's cool. I think there's enough. I definitely think that there's enough there to kind of make it a successful platformer if they really release it. And by successful, I mean they'll make a return on it. They'll make their money back at least.
Wasn't it saying that like Croc sold better than so many other like platformers at the time? I forgot what the article was.
Yeah,
but it sold better than
Burning Rangers. It sold better than a lot of stuff, to be honest with you.
I could have sworn there was like something big, like it was like a big game, like I think it was a Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah,
I think it sold better then.
Did it really?
Yeah, or at least about as well.
I mean, it was multi-platform though. Crash Bandicoot was tied to the PlayStation, and Croc had the advantage of being PC, PlayStation, and Saturn. So if they're counting all the platforms, then maybe that's why. Gex sold incredibly well as well, just because it was multi-platform. And again, a green dude. So you had Gex and Bug and Croc, and they're all green, and they all sold pretty well. Actually, Bug sold pretty well.
And yet they have been doomed to the realm of
Green mask.
of never being released ever.
Yeah.
Again, and being locked to the consoles. I don't think any of those titles actually got a re-release on anything else besides their original consoles.
I found where Dilbert was in the time that Croc was being made. He was working for Sony Computer Entertainment, making the third-person shooter Blasto, which was released in 1998. Yeah, he was the lead programmer.
Blasto was kind of fun. What are you talking about?
You want to hear something really sad though?
What?
That was like one of Phil Hartman's last games.
Oh, really?
Or last things he worked on before he got killed.
Yeah, I remember playing the demo of that. Has there just been no comments in the YouTube thing, or is my phone?
There's been a bunch.
There's been a bunch. Okay, so then
the phone's been having issue updating. During the live stream, I didn't get any updates.
Oh my god! So many people have been commenting, and I didn't know.
Yeah, the YouTube mobile app is absolute garbage.
Oh my god! I'm sorry, everybody. Scotty Moe is here. Julian, Mike Chat. Like, I seriously thought this was like one of the worst streams ever because I was like, nobody's commenting. Oh my god! Shadow's here, of course, and Blue Moon, and everybody. The whole gang is here. King Ghidra. Cerulean.
SNK boy shouts out. Sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah, shouts. Mike Garcia. I don't hate you guys. I just didn't know you were there. It was my phone lied to me. My phone lied to me. Have you guys played this Dreamcast game? The Psycho. I'm just kidding. It's not. You look at the swirl right there, and then it says Gaga.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, yeah. This is out of left field for me. Even as a Saturn fan, I've
never heard of it.
I've never heard of it.
The only Psychotron I know is that Megadeth, on their Countdown to Extinction, their last song on their album, I think it's last or second last, is called Psychotron.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty decent song. It's kind of a throwaway that they did for that. It's like, not a sideboard, call it Psychotron.
Basically,
it's a pretty good song.
This is a 95 Japan only port of a 94 American PC FMV game that I didn't even hear about that.
That's really common that they do.
Yeah, they do, right?
And what are they doing that?
Hey, you know what? There's a tailor-made. Somebody go take the PC game and yoink all of the text out of it and hack it into this game, and you've got a translation, right? You can take all the audio from the PC. From the FMV, there you go. Use Trekkie's Muxer, you know. So anyway, in-game text and original English voices were translated, dubbed, meaning the language barrier is strong. A CIA agent, your job is to locate a lost psychotronic device. You point and click, investigate, and talk to people. Watch the subsequent video clicks. It's a point and click 'em up. Your choices affect how the game unfolds. The FMV window is quite small, and the video is pixelated. This one's for hardcore 90s FMV fans. Kind of reminds me of like the Carmen Sandiego games, you know? This is your mission. She's
God, I love those games.
Those games were fun back in the day, right? Stand by for fiber link, secure line. What fiber link?
Fiber is going to your butt.
Yeah, I haven't heard of this one. I mean, you'd think that we would have heard of everything by now, but again,
that's the thing with the Saturn, though, dude.
Yeah, so like when I've watched so many videos that are like every game on the Saturn, right? And somehow this one slipped by me. Maybe it was because of all the Japanese text. Maybe if I was looking at a redump list, it was like the title was in complete Japanese and I had no idea what it was. But seriously, like, I can't believe that I'm still finding out about games that I didn't know about. Prisoner of Ice, that was another one where I was like, what? That got a Saturn release? Wow, that's crazy. So
I'm not going to be surprised if we have some FMVs like Don't Fear the Reaper dropping.
Yeah. Great song. Do 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 do.
Yeah. They did actually a game with Christopher Walken.
More cowbell.
That's a PC. Yeah. No, he actually was in a game called Don't Fear the Reaper on PC. That's a FMV game.
Yeah.
It's really weird, and it's also called that, and it has Christopher Walken in it.
Really?
And I wonder if it's because of that or it's just so coincidental that they did that.
Yeah, I don't know.
They even used that song in the game, so like somebody figure that out, I guess.
Oh my God. So
Chris
yeah,
Walken.
who's going to do this? So maybe after there was an update to wasn't there an update to that other game and we didn't have it? That's okay. Yeah, that's right.
JB Harold, yeah.
JB Harold. Dan did notify us of that in the website discussion, and it just none of us were bad. We didn't write it up, but we should talk about it. So yeah, JB Harold, and what's his name? Maybe the dude that's working. Arjack, yeah. So Arjack released the first chapter, I guess, was it, of JB Harold?
He's up to chapter 2.
Up to chapter 2. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a prologue, and then there are 4 numbered chapters, and he now has translated the prologue and the first 2 chapters. So he's more than halfway done with the game at this point. It's been out for about half a year.
Excellent. And that is the precursor to the Hotel Dusk games. So if you guys are interested in that kind of thing, you like the noir detective vibe thing going on, it's good. Definitely check it out. You can probably they can download that on Sega Extreme. Yeah.
Yeah, it's over at Sega Extreme. Yep,
cool.
Resources.
Excellent.
Go play that game if you want a really 90s vibe. Definitely play these games because I think they're a lot of fun. Like, yeah, I really enjoyed playing through Death Mask. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It's like it gets old after you're return to, where is this SHIRO group? Okay, so it does kind of get old after a while. Like Shadow Mask is probably more tired of it than anybody, right? Because he worked on that game. But I mean, after you've played through the scenario enough, you just know everything is going to happen, and there's no surprise in it, right? But that initial the initial playthrough of Death Mask, I recommend it for everyone. It's like very derivative of Blade Runner in a good way, so it's got the cyberpunk thing going on. I mean, you literally like shoot somebody's head off, right? Like there's
in the first 5 minutes of the game.
First 5 minutes of the game, it's got a vibe to it for sure. And if you've not played it, highly recommend. It's just we demoed it so much while they were working on it that by the end I was like, okay, I need to take a break from this and come back to it in a couple of years where I've forgotten everything that happens. But,
yeah, honestly, the thing about FMV games, it's a fun little thing where it's like it's a good one play. And then once you played it once, you put it down, like go back to it if you really just want to do more story stuff,
Yeah, but the thing about Death Mask though is that it's kind of like one of those hybrid FMV games, right? Where the FMV is kind of overlaid over the background, right? So there's like transparency to it. So it's more seamless than just playing an FMV, cutting to an FMV or playing an FMV in a window. It's more like kind of like a
FMV.
Yeah, and you press right and then it pans to the right. You see the video and you're walking down a corridor and stuff. So it's definitely like goes in a long list of like cyberpunk games. Speaking of cyberpunk games, I just played through Rise of the Dragon the other day on the Mega SD that you sent. On the Mega SD that you sent me. Rise of the Dragon. It's funny, the protagonist sounds like Derek 18. It sounds like a New Yorker, and I was like, the whole time I was listening to it, I was like, this sounds like Derek.
Would you on a scale of 1 to Snatcher, where would you put that game?
5 or 6, Snatcher being a 10.
5 or 6 towards Snatcher.
Yeah. Like
that's a fair display.
What would I put up next to Snatcher? I don't know. I mean, that game is just.
It depends, like games in general, or just like for story-based games.
I'm talking about like cyberpunk adventures. Cyberpunk games. It's hard. Police Knots. There you go. I would put Police Knots at a 9. If Snatcher's a 10, Police Knots is a 9. 9.5. I don't know. It's up there because it's still Kojima, you're right. But Police Knots is an excellent cyberpunk game. There's a lot of really great cyberpunk games, and a ton of them came out in that early 90s. There's a lot of
really not good cyberpunk games.
There's a ton of terrible cyberpunk games.
There's one that came out in 2020 that was pretty bad.
Oh, are you talking about Read Only Memory, or what are you talking about?
Read Only Memory rock.
It was good, right? Yeah. So what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the one cyberpunk game that came out in 2020 that has a 77 at the end of it.
The one that's actually called Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm thinking about old games here, and that one that was interesting.
I literally got the wrong ending because the game glitched so hard. So that game is on my like crap list for like until they redeem themselves. That
Yeah.
DLC better be damn good. I swear, that's the last chance I'm going to that game.
Oh,
But
if
yeah,
you
that
like,
game was
if
a
you
huge
like,
disappointment.
I don't know if you like synthwave, Pat, but I discovered
I
an
love
artist.
synthwave.
Okay, check out DreamKid83 on Twitter. He does. Well, I don't think he uses any pronouns, but they do some amazing.
I just use they just in case.
Yeah, you know, you're absolutely right. They do
just to be
amazing.
safe.
Like, check out their feed because it's not just the Bandcamp stuff. It's not just the completed albums and tracks and stuff like that. It's also like they post to their feed like game music almost like here's the soundtrack to you're a detective and you're on the docks and you're like about to bust a case wide open, you know, it's like do 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 do. He's doing all the synth stuff and everything. Or here's the soundtrack to you're babysitting your little sister and your parent, you know, in the 80s and stuff like that. And you like you should just check it out because the feed is great. And so DreamKid83, excellent synthwave stuff.
Speaking of synthwave, I need to shout out Pizza Hotline because apparently they have a concert coming up in the UK that they're doing. So shout out Pizza Hotwave if you're in the UK. If you go on their Twitter, I think they have the info for that. Check them out in concert. I would go there myself, but there's a little bit of an issue with that. You could probably take a guess what the issue is with that situation. But yeah, if you like Pizza Hotline, go do that. Great synthwave.
Yeah.
Mr. Cyberpunk 77 bones, yeah.
You know,
I got boned 77 times in that game by glitches, so that's pretty accurate.
Now that you sent me the Mega SD, I always confuse those two. I'm gonna play Snatcher again, because I'll be the first to admit that I don't own a legitimate copy. Because
fake Snatcher fan.
Fake Snatcher fan, but I've probably played the game like 20 times all the way through, but I've waited a while, you know, because I want it to be fresh. You know, I didn't play it at all last year, so I'm looking forward to playing Snatcher on the Mega SD that you sent me. So that's exciting.
You should do a stream of it.
Yeah, I should, but I suck at streams because I can't actually do anything from start to finish because of the kids and stuff like that. You know, like you're able to do that stuff. You could do a gameplay like the whole way through. I just can't promise anybody that. It's like too many interruptions. But yeah, no, I could stream part of it, you know. So let's shout out our patrons.
Yeah, it's getting damn. The guys for the podcast are going to be very happy with this. Very, very, very long podcast today. So hopefully you guys are gonna be in. You had a really fun time listening to this on your commute.
Thanks again to Dan for giving us news to talk about. And I appreciate you, Dan. I really was like super busy this week and then gone the week before. So I need to get my butt in gear and start writing stuff for the site.
Well, I appreciate you too, Dave, and you, Pat.
Yes.
And much love to the entire Saturn community.
Yes,
much
definitely.
love, all the lovings.
Speaking of, there's a Polish Saturn. There's a Polish Saturn magazine. I just found that today. I learned that apparently there is it's called Saturn Extreme. And they just went all out. They're just like, here, we're just gonna use the Saturn logo and everything. But it's in Poland, so I guess Sega can't really do anything. Not that Sega would, you know. That's awesome, though. That's awesome.
Saga
I didn't even think that Saturn did very well in Poland, but they've got a scene and they've got fans. Next, I'm expecting to see like a Brazilian Saturn magazine. Let's go ahead and read out the patrons. Pat.
Alrighty, I probably should do that. So shouts out, Murder of Crows. Somebody actually mentioned K in the chat. Mahalo. So shout out
mahalo.
K. Mahalo, is it? I don't know.
Mahalo.
Right, gotcha. All right, Emerald Nova, Johannes Fetz, Nate Lawrence, Blue Moon 95, Cerulean, Derek Fredrickson, David Zaney, Derek aka A-Team, Fat Drunk Friend Otaku, Jim Clasher Rank, Justin, Momphis, Normal Guy, Newt Rageous, Robert Ramsey, Rowan Dished, Sega Steve, Stoneman, Tanuki Trev, Thuron Brown, Young Money Sowie. If you guys want to get shouted on the live podcast, you can back us at the $10 and up level, and we will shout you out for the live stream and the audio recording. You got some great bonuses being part of our patrons, including having your name in the magazine, so having your name like in the little preview of that, or like in the thank you section. getting early access to the magazine, being like one of the first buyers for it if you want to get that. Things like the Netlink bundle that we need to get ready and set up. We keep teasing that, and we still haven't put that up. We need to crack that out, or hopefully getting that ready soon. We're having another PayPal issue, so once we get that sorted, we should be a little bit faster.
Yeah,
getting that all set up.
I turned in. I submitted the paperwork, the receipts.
Luckily, we only have $13 in there because we actually put into a bank account. So
check is in the mail. I actually, the last order, I just put it on my own dime. I was like, there you go. I will ship it out so that we can prove to you that we can ship to customers. I don't know why they do that, Like, we were doing just fine. They hate us, yeah. So
yeah, I don't know, a bunch of haters, player hating. But anyway. Yeah, anyways, but like we don't have any other money in the account, so it's all good. It's like if we lose $13, I'll
who cares?
Give you I'll put $13. I'll transfer $13 to that in my personal account in there.
That's literally the last guy that bought a magazine. That's what that is, minus the fee or whatever. And it's so it's like we can't
sorry
get
for the long wait, dude.
Yeah, sorry. No, it's out. It went out to him like 2 days ago. So, or yeah. But like I said, early access to that. Fan patches, really fan patches for that. We have two awesome ones on it. We have a Super Bomberman Fight, and then we have a Terra Fantastica. If you guys want to try that out, it's very, very early, like really, like not even beta, like alpha translation patches by the amazing Malenko, amazing sexy Malenko. So thank you very much again, my dude. So there's a lot of benefits to doing that early podcast, early SHIRO videos when we do those. So a lot of good benefits, and then of course you could buy some shirts. Or do some cool stuff. Saturn Bomberman Fight. I said Saturn Bomberman Fight, didn't I? You did.
Or did I say Super Bomberman Fight?
Oh, maybe you did.
Sorry, I meant Saturn Bomberman Fight. I was
shouts to Malenko, my favorite, one of my favorite redheads. He's a ginger, a proud ginger.
A ginger. But yeah, we're all excited. Good benefits, and then of course, if you don't want to support us. Regularly, you can support us by buying a shirt or something, or just sharing us out, letting people know we exist, saying, hey, check out this cool podcast, review it on iTunes, be like, these guys that run the podcast are very pretty, very sexy guys, so thank you for doing this podcast for us. Things like that.
That might be a stretch. Pat's like, you're just like, what are you talking about? Speak for yourself. No,
yeah, speak for yourself, dude. But yeah, no, Blue Moon 95 said I sent Malenko what I currently did for Kuro's story and fight. So that's pretty cool. Blue Moon 95 is now assisting, so need a shout out with that. So thank you again, Blue Moon 95. Much love. Once we get that sorted, we're gonna put a new patch on there, or it could be like a storybook, like by chapters. And then I want to clarify, once all the patches are done, like completely done, we will release them. And if they get to a point where they're staying there, we'll just release that too for free. So we're not holding these hostage. It's just a beta thing. So
yeah,
nothing.
Dan is wearing SHIRO merch right now.
Like nice. I just sent a picture of the shirt on the chat if you want, Dan.
Well, it's probably this right here. It's probably his sweatshirt. How do I do this?
Just zoom in on it, just like on the.
Zoom in on Dan's.
You need to make sure to zoom in on his face really close up.
Oh, wait, it didn't work. Here, hold on a second.
You don't have the thing up.
No, I know that. I don't have. What are you saying?
Make sure to zoom in on his face.
There you go.
Everyone could just use their imaginations.
There you go. Zoom in on that face. There we go.
Brother.
Sexy.
That's not the perk.
There. Da.
That's what I do when I meet Dan. I just like look directly at his chest. Oh, that was really bad. I look at the Saturn logo on his shirts. I'm respectful, Dan.
Underneath it, I'm also wearing the T-shirt that is it's got like a stylized looking Japanese Saturn controller. It's pretty cool. I like that one too.
And the stream with Dan's face, face of a nation.
I'm just gonna edit it into the audio podcast.
That's great.
You won't be able to see it, but his face will be on the stream.
SaturnDave.
You guys can access our podcast, the show, videos on YouTube, magazine, merch, net play.
There's a guide on Discord.
Guide to get your Saturn online through the website. What else is there? You can also get community.
Buy a magazine.
We got a lot of community links on here. You can reach our Discord that way. Yes,
I became the Discord chat.
Got Panda. We got a link to Panda here.
Oh I'm like right here. I can do peace sign. See, I have my little hand sticking through, just doing a peace sign.
We've also got a lot of social links and friends, of course.
Magazine.
And then I don't know who else like support. You can support us with a one-time donation.
I don't think Dave knows that my thing is not fully on there.
Oh crap!
I have a little box.
Yeah, no, you're not kidding. Hold on a second.
I have a little thing right there. I'm just like, look at, I'm a little thing. I'm just a little boy.
What?
There we go. I'm back to full stream.
Okay, you're full stream now. Okay, well we gotta go. We gotta roll credits anyway.
It was fun while it lasted. All right. Well, I guess thank you for watching, y'all, and remember you must play Sega Saturn, and also watch ShadowMax on Twitch doing a game
are you
thing.
not?
So
wait, hold on. Okay, yeah. So are you not streaming? Are you not streaming?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So then I'm gonna do this. Check out ShadowMask on Twitch. Can he drop a link to his Twitch for the
no, he's
VHS?
not allowed to.
No,
I was joking.
I think every Friday he does like a movie night, right? ShadowMask does like a movie night.
Movie night.
So check out, go watch a movie, get some popcorn, and watch a movie with ShadowMask. I think he streams VHS.
Batman Returns tonight. Yeah,
Batman Returns.
Bought like a dozen VHS tapes for a total of $20 at a store nearby, and Bunny and I shipped them out to ShadowMask. So
Wonderful.
This is gonna be.
Is that the one with one of the best songs of all time? You know, hold on, let me.
You're not thinking of.
Is that the one? It's like there used to be a grain tower along on the sea.
No, that's Batman Forever. That's Batman Forever. Yeah, Dang. You also had that one.
That Seal song.
There was also a U2 song on there.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I don't remember how it goes, but yeah, there was a Seal song and there was a U2 song on that soundtrack. Batman Forever 2, or sorry, Batman Return.
They made it worse this time.
What was my brain doing right there? Batman Returns. I don't know. I don't remember any of the songs. It was just Danny Elfman, right? Like it was.
That was Danny DeVito, actually, right? As well.
Well, Danny DeVito, yeah, was the.
Was the Penguin in that one?
Yeah.
I keep forgetting.
I'm a
box now.
Batman Forever 2.
No,
this time it's personal. Oh my god. Speaking of, that game on Saturn is ridiculous. Batman Forever. It's that or in the arcade. It's pretty ridiculous.
You know what? I thought the Poison Ivy was really hot in that in Batman Forever.
Poison Ivy's not in Batman Forever. She's in
Poison Ivy's. I swear to God. She's in Batman and Robin, right?
Batman and Robin, yeah. Poison Ivy. So Batman Forever, you got Nicole Kidman as the love interest, and then you have what is it? You have you have Dr. Robotnik is in Batman Forever.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he plays the
Riddler. Riddle me this. And then you have gosh, what's his name? Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones is great as
who's Tommy Lee Jones?
Two-Face.
Oh, I forgot he did that.
Yeah, he did. All right.
Sorry, the Batman movies, like, I get them all mixed up.
Didn't we say goodbye? We were supposed to roll credits already. We were like, you must play Sega Saturn. Yeah, these are like
Batman Forever.
The blooper outtakes. All right, I gotta go. So anyway, we're gonna roll credits now.
Peace.
See ya. Peace.
SEGA Saturn シュ